Welcome to Good Money, your trusted source for personal finance advice. I'm Tanya Rivero in New York. Where is the economy going? It is the burning question everyone is asking. And despite steady progress in the markets since March of this year, my first guest has some pretty strong opinions about the immediate future of our economy. Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and financial education advocate, believes we should all be preparing for the worst. To explain his outlook, he joins me now from Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome to Good Money, Robert. Great to see you.
Hey, thank you.
So, Robert, you don't have much confidence in the markets. In your most recent article on Yahoo Finance, you wrote you believe the stock market is being manipulated. Is that right?
Yes, it's always been manipulated. There's insider trading that's legal, insider trading that's illegal. The thing called front running, which Goldman Sachs does all the time. So when a big stock play comes in, they buy ahead of the stock play. So it's everything's somewhat rigged, yes.
So who do you think is manipulating it then? These big banks?
No, I think it's a combination of the U.S. Federal Reserve, which is not U.S. It's not really a bank, plus the government, plus the big bankers. So there's a lot of people who want to make sure, and I don't blame them, that the economy stay afloat. So they're pumping liquidity or money into the system like crazy right now.
So do you have any evidence of this, or this is just a hunch?
Well, Bloomberg just sued the Federal Reserve to open their books up, and when the Federal Reserve Bank was asked what happened to the $2 trillion, they said they don't know. So there's a lot of controversy swirling around the Federal Reserve Bank right now.
Absolutely.
And the reason is they're printing. They call it quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is Fed speak for we're printing money just to keep this thing afloat.
So all of this adds up to a rather grim outlook, in your opinion. Who's to blame for this global financial crisis?
Well, I'm coming out with a book in a couple of weeks called Conspiracy of the Rich, and it's about the Federal Reserve Bank. But I'm not a doom and gloom guy. I'm just saying, look, if the market goes this way, move with it. So the first half of the book is what got us into this mess, and the second half is what you and I can do about it. There's always good news. I mean, right now, as I'm speaking to you, gold is testing 1,000, and silver is over $16. That means, in my opinion, I could be wrong, that China and Russia and Brazil have no confidence in the U.S. dollar right now, so they're starting to dump it.
Interesting.
And that's why you see the price of the dollar coming down. So the good news is it's a great time to buy silver. Anytime you can buy silver under $20, it's really a bargain today.
You heard it. Stock tip from Robert Kiyosaki right there. Go buy silver. Now, Robert, do you believe that people should continue to be cautious about stepping into the markets then, or you just have to be very careful about the opportunities you select?
Well, I'm always been an advocate for financial education, and I've always said, why don't we have financial education in school? So the average person, all they're told is to save money. At the same time, the Fed is printing money. They're telling them to invest in a well-diversified portfolio of mutual funds, and that didn't protect them from anything. And so in an era of high volatility today, I would be extremely cautious, and I'm actually bearish the dollar, very optimistic gold, silver, and oil.
All right.
So that's my play. Okay?
Those are good tips. Now, where do you think we're headed in general with the economy?
Well, we have only two choices. Either we go into a depression or we go into a hyperinflation, which means more inflation. And what that means to you and me is that things will get more expensive. And it really bothers me personally that I have so many people afraid of losing their jobs or lost their jobs. Housing values are down. I think the biggest change of all that we're going to see from now on is the people of the U.S. can no longer use their house as an ATM because credit is so tight right now. So that's going to keep the economy flat. So I wouldn't be betting on stocks going up or things going up, because I'm actually betting that the dollar will keep coming down.
So you definitely don't think the consumer is going to be making a comeback anytime soon?
Not with the ATM of their house. The second mortgage and home equity loans taken away. It's really going to get tough for everybody.
They're still going to.
I'm very concerned.
The spending isn't going to increase. But I also want to ask you about the 401k Ponzi scheme that you've talked about. This sounds very ominous. Can you explain what you mean by a 401k Ponzi scheme?
Yeah, well, a Ponzi scheme can only work if, new money comes in to pay off the old money. So Social Security is a Ponzi scheme where you need younger people coming in to pay off the old guys like me, same as Medicare. So Social Security will only go up if you, the younger people, keep putting money into the 401k, but meantime, the old guys like me, I'm going to start pulling the money out. So tell me how it's going to keep going up. I can't. I mean, maybe there's a magic elevator someplace, but I don't see it.
Well, this has been the great cloud that's been looming, right? That when the baby boomers retire, this huge population is going to drain Social Security. This is something people have been talking about for a while. What is the plan in place to deal with this?
You mean? I don't know.
Is there a plan? Does the government have a plan?
I don't know. I think as long as Obama and the Federal Reserve and the banks think that China and Japan and England and Russia will keep accepting our dollars, we'll be fine. But already, I suspect that China, Russia, India, Brazil are not going to accept the dollar anymore because they're losing so much money simply because the Federal Reserve is printing so much money, i.e. quantitative easing. So they're saying, hey, no more of this. So I don't have a clear crystal ball, but I think silver at under $20 an ounce is a good bet right now, especially if you have no experience. Now just buy a couple hundred coins and find out for yourself.
All right, Robert. Well, thank you so much for your time.